quantum leaps and jumping timelines. Let's get into this. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Candacevandeil, and I've been working as a spiritual coach and healer for the last 12 years. Recently, we just up-leveled my membership program, The Truth Room, to include 3 new levels of healing, of research, of soul school. So the easiest way to find your community and to work with me is level 1 or level 2. But let's dive in here. If you are new here, please click the little subscribe button, the bell to receive notifications when I release new videos. And if you've been with me for a while, thank you so much and welcome back. This topic has been hot lately in my coaching sessions and in my groups. Holy cow, there are so many misinterpretations around quantum leaping. And I have to tell you, these tools that I know, these things that I've had to live through, are monumental when you shift in perception to understand what's really going on, right? So one of the things that I've noticed a lot lately is clients will come to me, especially people that are mentoring with me for business, and you want to up level and it's not happening, or you're in unavailable relationships and toxic cycles and it's not ending, it keeps reappearing. The quantum leap is necessary. And what it means is doing enough healing work to have a quantum leap of perception, right? And perspective. So what I mean by this is if you still find yourself in these toxic relationships, or you can't get to the next level financially or in your business, or you can't get people to sign up, or you can't even find someone that you want to date, whatever the scenario is, or you're still the scapegoat in your family, even though you've done all these things to heal, what you have to understand is it's you who has to hold the frequency of this new perception and vibration long enough for the external world to catch up. This is what I mean. People will have a change and they're like, Candace, I see all these people online who are doing this business or having these relationships. Am I not worthy? Am I not deserving? Am I being punished? Did I do it wrong? I think I did the healing. I think I know what I deserve. And I say, well, do you? Because if you know what you deserve, then these evidences that are coming around you, right? This curriculum that is showing up for you is not going to sway you back to the old. It's going to look like the old because the new momentum of the new frequency and vibration has to anchor, which means anything that comes at you as evidence, you have to say, nope, that's the old story. Back to just knowing that I am worthy of the things that I desire. Back to knowing that my boundaries are keeping me safe. Back to knowing that my role in my family or whatever it is was incorrect, because I understand it now. So when people are still treating you like the old version, you have to keep saying, I reject their old version. When life keeps giving you evidence that you're not getting to that next level, or this old cycle is coming back for you for more, it's time to be the cycle breaker by saying, no, that's not my truth. Thanks for reminding me of my old self. What I mean by momentum building is things aren't going to quantum leap immediately. And if they do, that's literally shifting the timeline, which we're going to talk about. I've had some of those in my life and you can too. But the timeline leap, right? When you're leaping onto another timeline, that happens for you when you've mastered this new perception of self and life. If you're being aligned action steps you're taking and you're being the new version, meaning you're treating yourself differently. You have new routines and habits that keep you nourished, not what you think you should do to get something, but like what you know you should do because it feels better. It keeps you more in your integrity. It keeps you more in your alignment. When you've started new habits like this and you started attracting new friendships or business contacts or people that you might be interested in, and it's a different frequency, instead of having the fear that that's going to validate the old, and then I'm going to have to give up my new perception of self. I want you to see it as an old lesson that you're mastering to no longer allow that into your vortex. So a quantum leap is I'm leaping into a new perception. Now I have to keep that new perception regardless of my circumstance or conditions so that I can do a quantum leap into the new reality I've been energetically creating all this time by saying no to the old and consistently vibrating with the new. Your new patterns, your new way of talking to yourself, no more inner critic. One of the things people think is, oh, it has to be perfect. What are you talking about? It's all about authenticity. When I have a reaction I don't like, I'm like, oh shit, that was my old reaction. What am I doing? That wasn't right. Course correct immediately. When we course correct in the moment, we get the transformation. When we keep it going and then we're mad at ourselves because we did the old way of being, or I reacted that way, or oh my gosh, I messed up my boundaries, then you're consistently continuing the old vibration of I'm not enough, right? I did this whole post today on Instagram about literally you will know you're more when you start to allowing more for yourself, right? Your pattern will end when you're done with the pattern. When you have mastered the lesson, there doesn't need to be any more lessons. It won't feel like it a lesson. It'll just feel like evidence of the old. So quantum leaping is a shift in perception about yourself and how you're living in alignment with yourself. How we relate to the issue is the issue. I had a client today who texted me and he's like, oh my gosh, all my old systems are breaking down. But what's different is now I have the awareness and the grace and ease to let it happen and not let it break me down. And I said, friend, the breakdown of the old system must happen to start to rebuild from the new you. This must happen. Everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to start on this healing journey. It's going to be so easy. No, it sucks a lot of the time because you're going to have to break down old ways of being. But what's beautiful about that is you know what's going on. You don't misperceive it as, oh, I don't deserve it. Or, oh my gosh, it's not going to happen for me. I don't deserve these things. Or I'm not good enough for these things. Or I did it wrong. Or I'm not as worthy as that person over there who seems to have a great life. Okay, they're not telling you the truth. That's the other thing that's annoying. When clients come to me because they want to go to the next level in their business or they want to find the love of their life and have their family and they see people online, they're like, well, Candace, she did it so well. I'm like, do you know her real story? No, I know you don't. I do, right? Or people will be like, well, that person made 7 figures overnight at their first launch. I'm like, no, they didn't. They were probably working on this for many, many years to figure out how to do those things. It doesn't happen overnight because you're worthy. It happens overnight because you've taken the aligned action steps that know that they're worthy to get to those new opportunities, to stay open to the new perception so new opportunities can come in, new signs can come in, new perceptions of old things can come in to literally level up your inner system and your outer reality. So when you're doing a quantum leap, you have to stay connected to and committed to the new up-leveled perception of your life that you've just healed into. If you're a scapegoat child and your role in the family is a scapegoat and you know for sure that you're just the truth teller and the cycle breaker, so whatever they want to put on you, they're just unaware, having that boundary when you're around them, not allowing them to give you smirks or tell you negative things about you or just down you, but instead be like, I don't really know why you're doing that. It doesn't make sense. Can you explain it? Asking questions and holding true to your new self is what's going to no longer allow these realities. It may take time because you can't control other people, right? People have free will. People aren't God coming in and saying, oh, I'm your example of rejection. No, people reject because they have free will. So they're functioning from wounds or they're functioning from a higher self. We don't frickin' know. So we have to stop saying that the evidence I'm seeing or the way I'm being treated is because of me. One of the biggest wounds with highly sensitive people is, oh, I'm not being treated well, or that person's not happy around me. That must be me. What can I change about myself to make them feel better so I can have a mirror? No, that's not how life works, right? That's how maybe the 3D reality works. But 5D, when we're on timeline leaps and we're on quantum leaps, it's not how it works. The universe, God, whatever you believe in, already knows you're worthy. When you start to adopt that belief too and start lining up your action steps with that belief, you get the support of the universe because the universe is supporting the true self. When you start to be like, oh, I'm in support of my true self and start seeing things from a worthy person's point of view instead of an old, wounded, uncertain identity point of view, then you are holding the vibration to create the quantum leap or to literally shift timelines. And this gets deeper and better as we go. I have so many stories about it. Like, for example, you can't miss what is meant for you. When I was dating my boyfriend 15 years ago, we wanted to get married and have babies, but I really needed to put my inner child first and love her deeply before I could allow anyone else to love me. We break up. I marry someone else. 10 years later, I get a divorce. No contact with this ex. But after I did all this healing work and after I realized what I really wanted, rather than the ideal version of what I thought I wanted, guess who pops back in? Over a decade later. And here we are. And now timing works out. And now our desires for life are aligned. The healing has been complete. And so you can match back up with the timeline you're supposed to be on. Also, another example. Yeah, I was a scapegoat in my family, but after I did a ton of work, guess what? I'm not the scapegoat in my family. That doesn't mean it's going to happen to everybody. But when I held true to myself and I lived my life as a reflection of someone who knew they were worthy, as a reflection of someone who knew there was nothing wrong with her, guess what? Anyone who ever said anything to the opposite would be booted. I'd be like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Why don't you look at my life? Why don't you look at who I am rather than who you think you need me to be? Guess what? That role has changed 100%. So this is why I do this work, and this is why I'm so intensely dedicated to it. Because when we have a shift in perception with self and start aligning our actions with the true self, if you don't know what that is, maybe check out level 1 of the Truth Room. There's tons of curriculum on this, right? If you don't know what the true self is, it is the person you were before conditioning got to you, before wounds got to you, and healing back to the authentic self means healing back into the path you were born to have, the life you were born to lead. So I'd love to know your comments on this. Please leave them below. If you're interested in the Truth Room, please check out the description. I will have all the links and information there. If you're interested in coaching, links below as well, or any on-demand courses. They are all on demand at this time, all open for enrollment. Everything's there for you. Also, please come say hi to me on Instagram. I'm doing short reels on deep topics every single day, and I love to hear from you guys and be as connected as we can be. Please share this video with one person you think that it could help. I love you guys, and I'll see you very soon.